Hello, everybody. Welcome back. After a long waited to do, it's Grapevine Sports. I'm back with another commentary video. I haven't posted a commentary video in about 7-8 months, but I'm hoping to get back into these commentary videos as I used to do before, because I've been focusing on making shorts and stuff, and putting on YouTube and putting on TikTok, which you can check out. Link is gonna be in the description. But this commentary video is gonna be a tier list. Based on after free agency and after the draft, putting each team in a tier list and grading them and evaluating how I think they're going to do during the season. Yeah, that's about it. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, first team got the San Francisco 49ers. They're coming off a disappointing season, obviously due to injuries to Christian McCaffrey and Brandon Ayuk. And in this offseason, they traded away Deebo Samuel to the Washington Commanders. So, also they haven't played Brock Purdy yet, and quite frankly, I feel like they're wasting their time and don't really have a choice in whether or not to play Brock Purdy or not. But that's just a story for another time. With all that being said, I'm gonna put them at a potential wildcard team, because I feel like losing Deebo Samuel while he was injured and a little bit out of shape, I feel like that is still going to take away some of their production that they've been having past couple seasons, plus with McCaffrey getting injured and him not being able to stay healthy, and Brandon Ayuk coming back from torn ACL. I feel like that potential wild card is probably going to be the 49ers ceiling for this upcoming season. But if Ayuk comes back healthier as like we expect, and Christian McCaffrey stays healthy, they could be as high as a Super Bowl contender, because when this team is healthy and when this team is right, is one of the best teams in the league. Okay, next team, we're going to do Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears, I'm putting them as a playoff team. Caleb Williams, he finally has a head coach. Matt Eberflus was an idiot. Everybody knows this. Their offensive coordinator, everybody was stupid. I'm telling you. Ben Johnson, I think he's going to be a capable head coach for them. A great offensive mind. They brought in every offensive lineman they could possibly sign. They brought in Grady Jarrett on the defensive line. They got in, still got DeAndre. Who's their running back? I don't even remember who their running back is. Am I casual? Doesn't matter. They still got DJ Moore. They drafted Colston Loveland out of Michigan. They still got Cole Kmet. They still got a really, really good defense, boys. I'm telling you, the Bears' defense is severely underrated. But I'm thinking we're going to be a playoff team, and Caleb Williams is going to be. I don't think he's going to be an MVP level, but he's going to be playing at a much better level than he did last year, with the weapons and the offensive line and the head coach all forming into like a 10-11 Bears team this upcoming season. All right, next up we got the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals, this is really tough, because the Bengals defense is terrible. I'll be honest with you guys. The Bears defense is terrible. I still don't know what they're doing with Trey Hendrickson, and they kind of addressed defense in the drafting the edge runner at A&M, but I would have to say, just because I don't think the defense can play any worse than they did last season. And Burrow's going to be back. You still got Chase. You still got Higgins. That's a lot of firepower on that offense. You have Iosivas as number 3. That's a lot of offense, and I feel like the defense cannot play any worse than they did last year. So I'm gonna put them as Super Bowl contenders. Next up we got the Buffalo Bills, Super Bowl contenders. Josh Allen, won MVP, even though I think Lamar should have won it, but he won MVP. You still got your weapons. Still got Keon Coleman, who's gonna be coming back. He's coming back, hopefully building on his rookie season. The Bears defense is pretty good too. You still got you don't have Von Miller anymore, but you still got the Bills. They're a solid team. They'll be back and hopefully contending for a Super Bowl. They got robbed last year against the Chiefs, but we don't have to talk about that. You still got James Cook. You got Dawson Knox. You got Dalton Kincaid. A solid offensive line, solid defensive line. Yeah, so there's the Bills still being Super Bowl contenders. They'll be contending for the Super Bowl. The Broncos, we'll put them in a playoff team tier. Bo Nix came off the amazing rookie season. They added Jody Barron out of Texas, the cornerback, to go along with PS2, which is good. That's secondary. I'm telling you, that secondary is gonna be really good this season. I wanted Barron here in Washington as a Commanders fan, but I really didn't think he was gonna fall that far, and I was kind of upset the Broncos drafted him. But the Broncos, they'll be good this season. They still got Bo Nix. You got Cortland Sutton. So yeah, the Broncos will be good. They'll be good. They'll be back there. Cleveland Browns, they suck. I'm telling you, the Browns suck. I don't know why they drafted Shedeur Sanders and Dylan Gabriel. That doesn't make much sense to me, because Dylan Gabriel, I'm not gonna say he's terrible, but I feel like Dylan Gabriel is just like your classic college quarterback, whereas like he'll play good in college, but he's not like NFL material. Maybe he'll surprise people and like be a good quarterback in the league, but I find that very unlikely. And you got Kenny Pickett, and you got Joe Flacco, who's a senior citizen. You also got Deshaun Watson, who needs to get his personal life together before he even thinks about getting into a football field again. We got Shedeur Sanders, which they drafted in the 5th round for some reason, but we don't want to talk about that. The rest of the team is weird. They signed Myles Garrett to an absurd contract after he was threatening to leave when he said it wasn't about the money. Then he signed for this crazy contract. So the Bears are a dumpster fire. I don't know how Kevin Stefanski still has a job, to be quite frankly. And I think they'll be picking around the top 5 next season too. Buccaneers playoff team. Baker Mayfield proved that he's a good quarterback. I've been a Baker Mayfield truther for his entire career. I'm telling you, this man is actually really good. You got Bucky Irvin. Chris Godwin was going to come back after his injury. They drafted Emeka Ibuka. They still got Mike Evans. Solid defense. Got Vita Vea on that defensive line, Jamel Dean in the secondary, Antoine Winfield in the secondary. That's a good solid defense. Still got Levante David. He's getting up there, but he's still there. Got Tristan Wirfs on the offensive line. That's going to be a solid playoff team, and I think the Buccaneers will be back around competing for the division as they were last year. Arizona Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals are just one of those teams just kind of there. They never really do anything in the regular season. They finish like 7-10, 8-9, except for that one odd season where they did go to the playoffs and lost in the first round. But I feel like the Arizona Cardinals are just meh. They're just kind of there. Kyler Murray, he's not a good quarterback, but he's an all right quarterback. Okay, let me just say, he's not terrible. He's like a solid like 20 to 15 quarterback in that range, but he's not gonna like light the world on fire and with amazing stat lines and stuff like that. But you got James Conner and Marvin Harrison Jr. who's going to be good, and the defense is not terrible. It's kind of It's not terrible, but it's nothing not impressive in my opinion. But they're going to be in the mediocre at best. The Chargers, Chargers are really interesting. The Chargers are a playoff team just because Justin Herbert is a pretty good quarterback. While I think he's a little overhyped / overrated, their team is just solid enough where I think they're gonna be in the playoff conversation. You got Ladd McConkey, signed Najee Harris. Jim Harbaugh's a great coach. Joe Walton on the offensive line, along with Rashawn Slater. Signed Benjamin St. Juste, which is who is terrible. He's an actual terrorist for the Washington Commanders organization. I never want to see this man ever again. But yeah, they got all those players. Yeah, so I think the Chargers are just good enough to stay in the playoff team tier, and also still got Quentin Johnson, so he's there, and Derwin James, so they'll be all right. They'll be a playoff team. Kansas City Chiefs, Super Bowl contenders. Call it Glaze if you want, but the Chiefs are still the topper echelon of teams in the league. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league. Argue with the wall. I don't care. It's not Glaze, guys. You guys need to calm down. Patrick Mahomes is still the worst quarterback in the league right now, and if you think Patrick Mahomes is not the best quarterback in the league right now, you don't know ball about it. You just don't watch it. You're just caught up in the hating Patrick Mahomes and all everything that comes with them, and the refs cheating, which, while they do cheat, that doesn't take away from the fact that Patrick Mahomes is not a good quarterback and the best one in the league. But yeah, still got Travis Kelce. He's getting old. Pacheco should be back, and I expect him to be healthy. Xavier Worthy, good receiver. Xavier Worthy, he's a weird guy. We don't want to talk about it, but yeah. Aside from all that, don't worry about it. Xavier Worthy, they'll be good. Chiefs will be good. Rashee Rice, depending on, he tore his ACL and then he had that car accident thing. So I haven't really heard much about him. Assuming that the car accident stuff is taken care of, he'll be back. Defense is good. Trent McDuffie in the secondary. Still got Chris Jones, best defensive D tackle in the league. That's why I think the Chiefs are still going to be Super Bowl favorites. Colts. The Colts are number one pick potential. I don't know why they signed Daniel Jones. Like, Daniel Jones he might start for that team because I just don't have any faith in Anthony Richardson. He was overdrafted from the beginning, and I don't think he's going to be any good. Like, if you're set on developing for Anthony Richardson, I don't think you sign Daniel Jones because Daniel Jones he might be better than Anthony Richardson. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, he might be better, but this team is going to be like 4 or 5 wins in my opinion. But Michael Pittman's still a good receiver, and Jonathan Taylor, although he hasn't been as good as that record-breaking season he had a couple seasons ago. But I don't see the Colts doing that much this season. Now you got the Washington Commanders. Yeah, the Super Bowl favorites, like Jaden Daniels, best quarterback in the NFC. You got Terry McLaurin, one of the best receivers in the NFC, in the NFL. Excuse me. Brought in Deebo Samuel, who I think is going to be a solid piece for them. Somebody to take the eyes off Terry. And I feel like the offense will thrive this season. Brian Robinson, solid running back. They traded for Marshawn Lattimore last season, and while he was underwhelming last season, and he wasn't fully healthy in my opinion, I feel like that he will be better, at least 75% to how he used to be, like his prime Marshawn Lattimore in New Orleans. If we can get that from him, we'll be solid. Mikey Sanders still great defensive player. Drafted Trey Amos, steal the draft, argue with the wall. Trey Amos, I can't believe he's still there in the second round. That secondary has potential to like be hot take here, be the best in the NFC, potentially the league. If Trey Amos and Marshawn Lattimore hit, that's big if. But they're Super Bowl favorites. Dallas Cowboys. This all depends on whether and how good Dak Prescott is and how consistent the Cowboys are as a whole. Because their ceiling right here is playoff team, like comfortably in the playoffs, 10-11 win team. But their floor is like missing the playoffs to potential wild card. They're that weird team that's just like they're good enough. They should be better, but for some reason they're just not. I just can't figure it out. It's so meh. Like Brian Schottenheimer is your coach. What are you guys doing? You go from Mike McCarthy to Brian Schottenheimer, but whatever. I'm gonna put the potential wild card. I think Dak should be back. He'll be fine. They don't really have a running back. They have Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders, which is not that great. And they picked the drafted Blue out of Texas, the running back. So it's not terrible. Their running back room, they got a lot of people to choose from. It's not terrible. Solid receivers. Just traded for George Pickens, which is an interesting trade. To go with CeeDee Lamb. That's a good solid receiving core. So Dak will have plenty of options to throw to. Still got Jake Ferguson at tight end. Solid defense. Michael Parsons, one of the best players in the NFL. Trayvon Diggs, he's all right. I mean, he's all right. And Deron Bland, who's also just all right. But there'll be a potential wild card. I'm gonna put him like 9-11 wins this season. Miami Dolphins, they're mediocre, guys. The Dolphins, first of all, Tyreek Hill's got way too many issues. Like this man is gonna be in the headlines for something other than football at least 4 to 5 times a year. I don't know, like he's got a lot of problems. And then Tua is not a terrible quarterback, but he just can't stay on the field. He cannot stay healthy. He's got, whether it's concussions or other injuries, he just cannot stay on the field. And then I feel like Mike McDaniel's a little bit overrated as a head coach. And I think he outcoaches himself or outsmarts himself in plenty of situations. And they lost Javon Holland on the defense. So they still have Jalen Waddle and, Devon Achane. But I just don't think this Dolphins team is that good, if I'm being honest with you guys. I'm just mediocre best, like 6 to 8 wins. Eagles, pains me to say it, Super Bowl favorites. Probably one of the best. They lost a lot of pieces on that defense to a free agency, but they still got steals in the draft. Like I don't know how Howie Roseman keeps pulling off these or I don't even know. He's not even doing anything at this point. I don't know. He's not even doing anything. Like these players are just falling to him somehow, some way, and they're just taking best player available, which is good for them. They got Reed Blankenship, Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell. Solid defense, probably one of the best secondaries in the league right now. Offense, really good offensive core. Saquon Barkley, best running back in the league. Jalen Hurts, top 10 quarterback in the league. AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, that might be like second to Jamar Chase and T Higgins, second best receiving core in the league. So like the Eagles are going to be pretty much back where they were last season, aside from like the defensive players that they lost to free agency. But they'll be Super Bowl contenders. Atlanta Falcons, they're going to be a potential wild card. Michael Penix, he showed some good stuff last season, and as they slightly missed the playoffs, and they finished up about 9 wins last season. I think they'll be around that same range this season, 9-10 wins. Bijan Robinson, good running back. Great running back, actually. Drake London, solid receiver. Ray McLeod, who's had a resurgence there. Darnell Mooney, career resurgence there. Do you have 1,000 yards last season? He was at 1,000 or just missed 1,000 yards last season. So if he can get back to that same production that he had last season, the Falcons will be good. good defense. AJ Terrell in the secondary. They did lose Grady Jarrett to free agency, but he was getting up there in age, and they drafted. Oh my gosh, the name is escaping me. Oh my gosh, they drafted that in Mike. Is it Michael? Did they draft Michael Williams? George, I'm pretty sure they did. Don't quote me on that. If I'll put something on the screen if they didn't draft him, but I'm pretty sure they did. I'm pretty sure. They also, they did really good in the draft. They drafted a trusted defensive line, which was a big need for them. They haven't had a solid defensive end in a while. Like, I remember they were trying to draft Vic Beasley, which didn't work out. Dante Fowler, which didn't really work out. So I feel like they've gotten better at the defensive line this season, and will be around the potential wild card, competing with the Bucs for the division. Giants are trash, bro. The Giants are trash. Like, Abdul Carter, forced to be reckoned with. Looks like the next coming of Micah Parsons, which scares me. But they drafted Jackson Dart. They have Russell Wilson and Famous Jameis and what's that other guy? Tommy DeVito, the quarterback. They got a lot going on over there in the quarterback room. The Giants, I don't really expect too much out of them, but Malik Nabers is a good player. Like, if he has another good season, he'll be top 10 worthy. Not there yet, but I'm put them number one pick potential, like 5 to 6 wins max this season for the Giants. Okay, we got the Jaguars. The Jaguars are going to be a potential wild card. Drafted Travis Hunter, still got Brian Thomas Jr. Signed De'Ami Brown, Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is a weird quarterback. He's like in the same tier with Dak Prescott. Like, he should be better, but for some reason doesn't have that consistency. I don't know if whether it's the coaching or it's just him learning the playbook or learning plays or personnel. He could be better, but he has the potential to be better, but he just isn't right now. And if he can get back to what he was like 2 years ago when they won a playoff game, they'll be a potential wild card team with hovering around that 9 to 10 range. And be like around like 9 to 10 range is their max. So I'll put them potential wild card. Next, you got the Jets. The Jets, I really like Justin Fields. Like, I really think he could be a good quarterback in the league. But aside from that and Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall's okay, but he wasn't as good as he was before. And Sauce Gardner is falling off a cliff. Still got Quinnen Williams. The defense is okay. Like, I think in my opinion, the defense is slightly overrated. I'll put them in mediocre at best because I think if Justin Fields can be as good as I think he will be, but I'm like a Justin Fields believer. If he can be as good as I think he'll be, the Jets will be mediocre at best and win like 7-8 games. But if he's not, and he's like the worst of the worst Bears, Justin Fields, the Jets are one of the more pick potential. But as of right now, I'm putting them mediocre at best. Detroit Lions, Super Bowl favorites. The Lions got upset by the Commanders last playoffs, but they had a ton of injuries on the defensive side of the ball. If they will get those players back, they should be back to winning 13, 14 games as they did last year, and competing for the Super Bowl, assuming that Jared Goff can continue to play at the level that he's been playing. They got Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, Jameson Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta, an amazing offensive line, second best offensive line in the league in my opinion, behind the Eagles. So I think the Lions, they should be all right. They should be fine. Like, the Lions, they should be fine. And they also signed Carlton Davis to go along with Terrion Arnold. So I think they'll be good. The Lions should be good. The same, like, 12 to 13 win range. Green Bay Packers, they're going to be a playoff team. Jordan Love, he disappointed me last playoffs against the Eagles because I feel like that game was winnable. But I can't really fault him but so much because he had nobody to throw to. Like, everybody was getting injured. Like, all the receivers were getting injured in that Philadelphia game and up leading up to that during the regular season. So with weapons, he'll be better, and they'll be a playoff team. And they drafted Matthew Golden, Christian Watson. He'll probably be back in like November, December with coming off the ACL. They still got Jaden Reed, Romeo Doubs. That's a solid receiving core. Like, that's like the upper echelon of receiving cores in the league, if you had to like rank them. But like the Packers, they'll be good. There's Jair Alexander, well, he's a little bit like not as good as he used to be, and I don't know if he still wants to be there as of right now. But if they can get him back, that'll be good for them. And Josh Jacobs, top 10 running back in the league. So the Packers will still be a playoff team next season. Now the Carolina Panthers. The Carolina Panthers are young and intriguing. Like, the Panthers, Bryce Young, I am like on the mountaintop defending Bryce Young to say like with weapons, Bryce Young is going to be like a top 15 quarterback at minimum, top 15 quarterback with weapons. They drafted Teddy McMillan to go along with Xavier Legette, and while Jonathan Brooks just got injured, was it Jordan Brooks? Jonathan Brooks got injured, running back again, so another torn ACL for him. He'll be out for the remainder of the season, so that's a big loss for the Panthers. But still got Chuba Hubbard. I think they'll be okay. And I feel like Bryce Young with Dave Canales as head coach, he'll be able to rebound and have a good season. Like the Panthers could be a potential wild card, but I'm not ready to put them there just yet. If I do another tier list, I'll maybe like before the season after I see how they play, maybe they'll move up to potential wild card. But as of right now, I'm keeping them young but intriguing. The Patriots, I'll put them with the Panthers as young but intriguing. Drake May showed really good flashes last season when he got the chance to start for the Patriots, and he had basically he did not have that much to work with. And this season, where I feel like when he has good players to work with on the offense, and Campbell to tackle out of LSU, who looks like he has a potential to be one of the best players in the league. Best offensive lineman in the league. So I'm looking forward to watching the Patriots play this season, and they're underrated defense. I'm not gonna lie, underrated defense. You guys can keep watching for the Patriots on defense. The Raiders are trash. I don't care what anybody says. The Raiders are trash. I have not seen such a hodgepodge mix of talent in my entire life. They traded for Geno Smith for some reason. I don't know why. He doesn't have anybody to throw to. Unless you like Jacoby Myers as your number one receiver, which, not great. They have no running back. Their defense sucks, aside from Max Crosby, who I can't believe who I feel like he might get traded at some point. But, they should sign a Montgomery's contract, so he's stuck there for life. What am I saying? The Raiders suck. They might be the worst team in the league next season. Rams, they're going to be a potential wild card. I'm not as sold as on the Rams as everybody else is. I feel like Matthew Stafford it's coming. The cliff is coming. He's gonna fall off that cliff. He's a good quarterback, but something tells me that he's just gonna fall off. They still got your running back though, and they brought over Devontae Adams to go along with Puka Nacua. They did lose Cooper Kupp to the Seahawks, but I think they'll be okay as Devontae Adams will be able to fill in that role better, and Puka Nacua is going to be your number one receiver. So I think the Rams, at the most, the Rams are going to be a wild card team competing with a wild card team, more wild card place in the FC playoffs. All right, we got the Ravens Super Bowl favorites. If the Ravens could just stop forgetting that Derrick Henry's on the team and give him the ball, they would be so much better. I don't know why that they choose to pass the ball as much as they do. But Derrick Henry's on your team, and nobody can tackle him. Nobody wants to tackle this man. So they need to just figure that out, and they'll be okay. And the defense is pretty good. Kyle Hamilton, Nate Wiggins, Marlon Humphrey, Roquan Smith. That's an amazing defense. They're good defense. Lamar Jackson, one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Their receiver core does need some work along with. They do have Zay Flowers, but DeAndre Hopkins is old, and that signing is just weird to me. It's just really weird. I know you guys need a receiver, but I feel like DeAndre Hopkins, you could have done so much better for Lamar. But Lamar's just that good of a quarterback that I still think they'll be in Super Bowl favorites next season. Saints are trash. They're trash, bro. They're trash. Tyler Shuck is your quarterback over Shedeur Sanders. Get out of my face, guys. Enough said. They're terrible. They're on par with the Raiders of terribleness. The amount of stupidity coming out from that organization is just beyond me. And Chris Olave can't stay healthy, although concussions can't really control that. The Seahawks are going to be missing, in the missing playoffs category. But this hinges on the fact that if Sam Darnold can go back and play like how he did last year, and last year wasn't just an anomaly, playing in the Kevin O'Connell offense. So if he can play similar to how he did last season, while I don't think the Seahawks are going to be as good as the Vikings were last season, just because of the talent around them, and just their defense is not as good as Vikings defense in my opinion. But the Seahawks will be around that 8-9 win range if Sam Darnold can just be slightly above average. He can be slightly above average. You still got Kenneth Walker, JSN, top 10 receiver in my opinion, and you signed Cooper Kupp. So with all those weapons, I feel like it's going to be impossible. Well, not impossible, but it's going to be difficult for them to be like not competing for a wild card team. Wild card, yeah. So like, yeah, they'll be in busy playoff tier. Steelers, they have no quarterback. The Steelers have no quarterback. Trade away George Pickens, but somehow, some way, the Steelers always find a way to make the playoffs or be 9-8 or 10-7. They'll probably be around that range this year. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know what Aaron Rodgers is doing, whether he's going to sign with them or not. They drafted Ohio State's quarterback, Howard, which is weird drafting, because why don't you take Shedeur Sanders? But a lot of people passed on him, so Mike Tomlin's the head coach, not me. So, yeah, they lost Najee Harris to free agency. You got DK Metcalf. They do have a really good defense, though. Like, it might be the best defense in the league. But that offense is just so meh. And you have no quarterback. Like, Mason Rudolph is not the answer. Skylar Thompson is just not the answer, guys. Oh my gosh. Like, the Steelers are weird, bro. And somehow, some way, watch them finish like 9-7 and now 9-8. Watch them. But they're gonna be missing playoff tier for now. Texans. The Texans are going to be the Texans. I'm gonna put them in the playoff team. I don't think they're a Super Bowl contender. Well, the Texans are weird. Like, I'm gonna keep them in the Super Bowl in the playoff teams tier list for now, just because C.J. Stroud did have a sophomore slump last season, and I don't know how he's gonna play this season. If he can play better than he did last year, I'll put him in Super Bowl contender. But as of right now, based on what happened last season, we're putting him in playoff teams, like in this echelon of like tier list of teams. I'll keep him there. But you got Joe Mixon, signed. They drafted Jalen Higgins. I don't know why I keep saying signed. Got Tank Dell, who's going to be coming back from his injury, probably mid-season just about. And Nico Collins, who's a top 15 receiver in the league. Derek Stingley on the defense. Jalen Petrie on the defense. That's a good defense. Like, probably top 7 defense in the league. So I think based on all that, the Texans will be a playoff team next season. Titans, they'll be in the young but intriguing tier, just based on the fact that they drafted Cam Ward, and if Cam Ward is a good quarterback, he'll be able to rise the Titans ceiling and like raise up everybody around them, and everybody will play better. So if Cam Ward is good, they'll be young but intriguing. But if he's terrible, then no one will take potential. But just because we don't know what Cam Ward is yet, I'm gonna put them in the young but intriguing tier list. Final team, Minnesota Vikings. I'm putting a potential missing playoff teams. I'm not sold on JJ McCarthy. I didn't think he was that good in college, and they really don't have. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, they don't have a running game, unless I'm forgetting something. As far as I know, they don't have a running game. Justin Jefferson, second best receiver in the league behind Jamar Chase, in my opinion. A solid defense, better than Seattle's, as I mentioned earlier. But the Vikings, I think they're going to be a missing playoff team because I think J.J. McCarthy is slightly overrated, in my opinion. But, yeah, that's going to be the tier list. Here's all the teams. Yeah, let me know what you guys think of this. I will probably be doing more and more, like, commentary videos as the year goes on, if I get more ideas and stuff, and depending on how this video does. But, yeah, all my links are going to be in the description, my TikTok, and which I post more frequently on my TikTok, which is going to be like shorts and stuff like that. And I posted shorts on here. Put my Instagram down there. My Twitch, even though I'm not streaming as of yet, look for that coming. I don't know. I don't want to say coming soon because I'm not quite sure on the logistics of it. But it'll be there. It'll be there somewhere if I decide to put it in there. But it'll be, you can find that in my YouTube pile. But it's not important. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and end the video. I'll see you boys later. Peace.